Hello, welcome to the Opinionistics. I'm your host, John Malone, and we'll potentially have other co-hosts joining us, but if not, let's go with the flow. Introducing from British Columbia, Canada, Lillian Brummet.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Hello. So, what do you do, Lillian?
Well, I do a whole bunch of things, actually. My days are so full, I don't even know how I fit it all in sometimes. My husband and I work together to run our business, Brummet Media Group, and that name, that title sort of acts like an umbrella that kind of encompasses everything that we do. And it really simplifies things because we're kind of diverse in the various services and products we have available that we're out there marketing and handling. So it simplifies it when it comes to business in the office, keeping the records and accountants and all that, having it all under one umbrella. So we have different sections under the Brummet Media Group, and that includes Dave's teaching and drum repair studio. So Dave is a longtime drummer for, I don't know, maybe 40 years now. He's been in, bands that have toured Canada and BC and opened up for some big name bands and what have you. And now we've sort of slowed down. We're living in a smaller community, living a quieter life, and he's now offering some his drum expertise in other ways. So we converted the lower half of our home into his studio. So it has like a street entrance, low end, straight level entrance into the door, and it works out perfectly. He teaches drum kits, and he also teaches various types of percussion down there. He hosts family workshops, group workshops. He does all kinds of repairs of various types of percussion instruments and drums and tunes and servicings and all of that. So it's one section of the business, and that part also includes our Drum It with Brummet blog. Of course, geared towards musicians in general, but it's got a really heavy slant towards drummers and percussionists. And when they go there, they'll find all kinds of like quotes and articles and interviews and product reviews and amusing stories of people on the road and, tips and all kinds of things there. And then on the other side of it, we have the Brummet Media YouTube channel, and we have the Brummet's Conscious blog. And those two focus on things like living consciously and proactively and providing information. Like on the Brummet Media channel, we're offering marketing tips, writing advice, green and sustainable living topics, and we share like readings from our books as well. And on the Brummet's Conscious blog, we do like interviews with people from around the world who work in the world of writing or greening the world or bettering the world in some way, which is really inspiring for us personally. All kinds of like inspiring stories and informative product reviews and helpful articles. It's a daily blog, lots of information. That thing's been running for 18 years now as a daily blog. And then we have our 6 books that are available on Amazon as well, plus all the ones that we're currently working on to, publish. And as time goes forward, as our schedule opens, we're working really hard. We have a trilogy coming out very, very soon. We're following that up with the Backyard Gardener's Guide, and we have like some fiction that we're going to be working on in the future as well. So lots of things going on underneath that Brummet Media Group umbrella.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
It really is. Yeah, it keeps us busy.
Great. And what is the main particular focus of Brummet Media Group?
It's really about making the world a better place. We wanted to use the skills and abilities that we personally have in the realm of music and writing and gardening, and to put that forward in the world to leave a positive legacy behind us. For us, we've had a few, personal tragedies in our lives, which really gave us some major wake-up calls as to like the value of the moment and how we can utilize that moment to make a difference and leave a lasting positive legacy with small actions. And so we started focusing on that, and it kind of developed into what we do now.
Okay, impressive. And what other kinds of media Are you thinking about expanding upon in a sense?
Okay, well, with our two blogs, we're working those really hard. The Brummet's Conscious blog is receiving anywhere between 4,000 and 400,000 visits in a month. 400,000 was our highest, peak there, but on average, it's more like around 4,000 a month, between 4,000 and 10,000 a month on average. And so we're working on developing that and really broadening the reach with that. The Drum It with Brummet is something that we're working on expanding as well. Dave has a lot of things that he wants to work on developing that. The YouTube channel is fairly new. It's only about maybe a year, maybe 18 months old. I'm not sure exactly, fairly new. And so we're slowly releasing content, trying to, build more content on it and develop. We have more playlists that we'd really like to expand what we're showing there on that channel. But we have right now, I think, 5 or 6 channels that we're working on building content for. So it's kind of a slow process in developing those right now. My husband has plans on creating an online store for his percussion accessories that he's developed and tested on the road, with various bands that he's been in, playing live and getting other, percussionists to try them out and test them, beta test them. And so we're at the stage now where we're almost ready to launch into that, but we have to get some of these other projects done first, one thing at a time.
Yes, of course. Cool. So, where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
Retiring. We're in our 50s. Well, I'm in my mid 50s, and Dave's, a little bit farther than that. He's like 56, 57, I think right now. I'm 52. So we're mid 50-ish. So we're kind of looking at more developing the evergreen aspect of the materials we've already produced, further developing them. Like, we would like to do e-courses based on one of our books, The Purple Snowflake Marketing, and also on the upcoming gardening book. We see e-courses and on-site courses possibility to help us as we, merge into the retirement years, to help us sort of also still be able to run a business, but at that level of being retired. So we're trying to head in that direction, but we're also seeing the timeline. How many more years do we have, and how much more do we have on our bucket list we really want to accomplish? So that time crush is we're feeling that right now.
Okay, fabulous. What is your favorite thing about the area that you're currently in right now?
For me, it's the writing. For Dave, it's the music. He thrills. He just has so much personal energy and food out of performing and teaching. He has a real passion for taking instruments that would have been sent to the landfill. They would have been considered unrepairable, and he can repair them and get them back to being beautiful instruments. He can make a cheaper instrument sound like gold. He has these skills, and for him to get people to embrace instruments that are sitting in there gathering dust and cobwebs and get them back into the schoolrooms or back into their living rooms so that they're playing them and bringing joy. For him, that's a real passion. When he goes out and he plays live and he sees people's faces transform from the stress that they're obviously carrying on the shoulders. Every one of us is packing around our own garbage truck load, and if we don't find a way of easing that load and getting rid of some of that, we end up dumping that load on somebody else. And one of the ways that people are able to offload that is by going to these type of live performances, going and seeing a band and just enjoying the music and getting some of the stress off their shoulders and getting that awe moment, that point of relaxation. And he really enjoys seeing that when he goes out performing. For me, for myself, it's the writing. I personally get a real thrill out of playing with words and the rhythm of the words, and finding ways of expressing things and writing about things that I'm really passionate about, that I'm trying to help others develop more skills and encourage them, motivate them to move in a direction of a greener, more sustainable lifestyle with really easy things that they can do, or to better their, dreams for their home-based or entrepreneurial ideas that they want to pursue, don't know how to go about it. If I can help them in any kind of way, man, that's such a thrill to be able to do. So for me, I get a lot of joy out of those aspects.
Fabulous. Is there any books you planning on writing and or publishing very soon?
Well, yes, actually. We have a trilogy that's coming out, and this one is, in fact, not our writing. This is writing that my husband's father had been like a closet writer and a closet artist. He's won a few contests, he's been published in a few magazines. It wasn't something he pursued as a career, but he had this beautiful talent with photography and poetry and storytelling, and including fiction, but also memoir, stories of his life, and making them so enjoyable, so personable. And so what we've done is we've put this trilogy together, celebrating all of his writings and some of his photography. And we're currently struggling to find the time to get the final stages of the publication of this done. It's the final stages. Anybody that's out there that's published books before, always, that that the final stages are always so much more longer and excruciating than you ever perceive they're going to be. Even if you're a seasoned writer, every book is like that. And so we're at that stage right now, that excruciating, long-winded stage before publication. But we're really looking forward to having that one out. Behind the scenes of that, I'm also casually working on this manuscript that I've been slowly developing. It actually started back before my late mom, before she passed away. She was chronically ill, and she was a master gardener, and I used to turn to her for quite a bit of advice when Dave and I were running. Like, we ran this 5 acres gardens for the spa. We had a 10,000 square foot market garden. We had a variety of different, locations where we had gardened. And I was always, going to her, turning to her, Mom, what do I do with this and all of that? So she was my guide, my guru, my soft place to fall as a gardener. And so when she was in the final stages, her last couple of years and on this planet, we collaborated on making sure that all of her knowledge and mine was collaborated in this notes for me for the future. And slowly, as the years have gone on, Dave and I have added to that with our, the knowledge we've gained in our various experiences, different elevations, different locations, stuff like that. And so we've been able to create this data that is just aching to be organized and put into this manuscript form. So I have started on that. I've gone at it a few times in the years, but seriously, putting it into chapter format and getting rough drafts on and happening. I'm at that stage right now with that book, and so it's a way of celebrating my mom, and but it's also a way of us sharing the knowledge, the hands-on knowledge that we've had in a variety of different experiences, and hopefully inspiring others.
Incredible. Incredible. What is your favorite thing about running Brummet Media Group?
I think being self-employed for myself. My husband has to still work the day job to make sure that we have that steady income, because there's an ebb and flow when it comes to being an entrepreneur, and you don't always have that steady income. So he has this really nice job where he also gets benefits that come with it. So that takes care of the what if stress. If this month we're not bringing in as much as we need to make our needs met, we know that that's already met with his job. So it's not that big stress load on our plate. And then being able to work with my husband as a partner, we really collaborate in really well. It's taken a while. We've been married 32 years. We've had to develop our method of working together, but he balances out myself like so perfectly. For instance, he's really charming when it comes to in person. He's very confident about going and doing a cold call at a store we haven't been to yet to see if they want to stock our books or these kinds of things. He's very good at that. I guess being a musician and all that, he's used to doing those kinds of things. I'm a little bit more like I want to be in the office. Yeah, I don't mind, I'll do interviews here in the office and I'll do one-on-one meetings with people in the office. I'm not really the whole group and stand on stage or that makes me really super nervous and anxious. So, but that's where he shines. And so it's really interesting how we were able to develop and work together. And I think that's my favorite thing is that I'm able to work with the love of my life at the business that I'm really passionate about. And we both bloom at it. It's not something that has taken away from either one of us or uh, added in unwanted stresses on our relationship, which is, I feel really privileged and very pleased about that.
Fantastic. So, would you rather breathe underwater or have an agility of a cat?
Oh, I would definitely want to have the agility of a cat. Um, I have a bit of a fear of water in regards to deep water. My husband Dave actually taught me how to swim and how to float without panicking and be okay with being in a boat. But I'm not terribly thrilled with being on water and in deep water, although I love lakes. So being on the shore and walking along the shore and walking into the water is fine, but as soon as my feet aren't touching that that ground, I start feeling a little nervous. But yeah, I would see myself being agility of the cat. I would like to be as sleek as a cat too. That would be really nice physically.
Yes, absolutely. Do you ever travel often?
No, actually, we don't very much anymore. We used to at one point, we used to have a trailer, like a camping trailer, and we would go to a variety of different places and we would do like book tours and, larger drum workshops and stuff like that. But our lives have slowed, when Dave would go doing the live gigs and yeah, concerts and things like that, there would be he would take the trailer with him and so we would do traveling in that regard. But not as much anymore. I think our last larger book tour was probably about 5 years ago, when I think that year also we sold our trailer and we decided to do a little less traveling. We found that traveling mixed in with our already really heavy schedule was just stressing us out too much. So we try not to do too much of that.
Okay, that's fair. If you had a song for every time you entered a room, what song would it be?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I can't think of a song right now. Oh gosh, I don't know. That's too tough of a question for me to can I pass? I can't think of one right now.
Well, I guess so, but it's just yeah, you know what? Fair enough. You can pass the question.
Okay.
Yeah. What is your favorite ice cream topping?
Ice cream topping?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would have to be chocolate.
Mmm,
Well, I mean, it
chocolate.
would have to be, right? Or maybe our homemade blackberry syrup because, that's just to die for. I love my blackberry syrup.
Okay, sounds good. What's your favorite season?
Hmm. I absolutely love every season, but I'm probably gonna have to say spring. Just seeing everything turn green, the beautiful weather, the spring rain is so much different than rain in the fall. Fall rain's kind of gloomy. Spring rain, I don't know, it's got life to it. And being a gardener, it's the exciting time of like planning out the gardens and seeing all the things come to bloom and foliage popping out and all that. After a winter month or two of sticks and stuff. So it's nice. I don't know. I think spring would have to be my favorite.
Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty good. What has been the highlight of your week?
The highlight of my week actually was in regards to we had a whole bunch of drum repairs come in. We had I think 4 come in from Fernie, which is about, I don't know, 8-hour drive away. We had uh, another couple come in from Wymer, I think it is, and that's about 5 hours, a 4-hour drive away, something like that. So we've had some people come in and find us randomly. Oh, surprise, contact, can you repair my drum, from longer distances away than we usually receive. Usually it's closer to home. And so it's really exciting that people are willing to travel that far to have their drums repaired by us, and in that number, recently. So that was pretty cool. That was actually in the last couple of weeks, though. I don't know if that's cheating.
Oh, I don't mind. It's just whatever goes with the flow. Do you like spicy food?
Yes. Yes. Actually, in my younger years, I probably liked it a little too much, because now I have to order the more milder versions of like Indian food and stuff like that. And now when Dave cooks, he's an excellent cook, but when he cooks, he tends to throw in a little bit heavier spices. So he lays back a little bit for it, or I serve it with like a Greek yogurt or something for myself, so I can kind of calm it down. But I do like the spicy food. I really do.
Fantastic. What's your what's your hidden talent?
My hidden talent. I have like this Zen thing with dogs. Like you get me one on one with dogs and they just like really respond, and I don't know, they seem to understand what I'm saying. We have like this connection. I just love being around dogs. I do some dog sitting too. And it's really fun to like expose our two very energetic Kelpie dogs to all these different size dogs and all these different energy dogs, and to watch these different relationships happen. And I've been able to like help some of our neighbor dogs overcome some of their fears, and sometimes they'll come and they may not have the same amount of training that we have, and so they'll leave with a little bit more training, and it's just really nice to be able to improve those dogs' lives. And I don't know, I just have such a thing for dogs. My husband used to say I'd fall in love with every dog I saw, and I think that was probably even more so true when we were younger. I remember going for hikes and walks and stuff. Somebody would be coming along with their dog, and there's me on the ground. Who cares about people? I'm on the ground. I'm having a great time with the dog. Whether they, the dog and me, just having a great time. So I suppose that's my hidden talent.
Hmm. All right then. Sounds good. If you had to choose between skydiving, bungee
Mhm.
jumping, or scuba diving, which one would you choose?
Oh my gosh. I think I think I might just go for the skydiving, because all of them terrify me. But I think if I had to do it, I would probably go with that one, because usually go with like an instructor who does everything the first time. So I'd probably do that.
Cool. If you could travel back in time, what decade would you want to live in?
Oh my goodness. I always hear people talk about like the good old days, and I kind of tongue in cheek for me, because I think of, well, gosh, what about like penicillin and women's rights and various things. I mean, there was a time when a girl couldn't even walk down the street without an escort with her, because that was just like forbidden. I don't know. Going back too far, I don't know. I think if I could, I would go back to before the settlers came to Canada or North America, and to have come as a member of one of the native groups. I think that would probably be as, yeah, that would probably be where I'd choose.
Hmm. Very nice. What would be the first thing you do if you won the lottery?
Oh, well, I paid off my mortgage. I don't know. I'd probably, well, I know that I would I would give at least 10% of it away. We have this policy of giving away 10% of our earnings, 10% of our um, what we receive from the Brummet Media Group as well, to a charity, and we do that annually. And so we would do the same doing that. I mean, there's nothing like giving to an organization that really needs it. There was a call out recently at one of the pet shelters, and they wanted to plant some trees in their field. You know, things like that can have a really lasting impact both for the environment and for the organization. And so I'm really passionate about trying to make a difference in every way I can. So I would definitely set aside some for that. One of my favorite places to give to is Seeds of Diversity, which works with all kinds of international seed banks. And what they do is they preserve seeds forever, one part of their work. And so they take all these seeds that would have been that are endangered. They're rare, they're endangered of like not being available to us anymore. All that genetic information all gone from humanity. And instead they're working really hard to save each one of these varieties. And so to be able to, you know, give like $500 and save a seed variety forever is a really cool thing to be able to do.
Okay, fabulous. And that is all we have for this episode. It was great having here, Lillian, talking about Brummet Media Group, your works as an author, and oh, wow, a lot of other things. It's been amazing.
Thank you. I've really had fun with this. I'm sorry I couldn't answer the song question. I just drew a blank.
It's all right. It happens to me all the time. And until next time, stay opinionated.